This was a stream of consciousness that I wasn't going to share with anybody, but I think that it would really benefit some women out there. So I'm going to share it anyways. This is why the dark feminine does not outpower or outdo the light feminine. The dark feminine has to do with the power struggle, which means if you want to utilize dark feminine skills, you have to manipulate. You have to lean into ways you can subtly send the message that you are more powerful than the other person. You play on feelings of jealousy and dominance and superior and inferiority, on lack or the threat of lack. Fear is a big thing that is used in the dark feminine. All of these negative emotions that, when felt, cause somebody to act. Utilizing the dark feminine causes a lot of anxiety. And if you are also highly sensitive and empathic, causing this kind of anxiety in somebody that you are close to, like your partner, will affect you negatively. You will feel the anxiety unless you have very low empathy. Eventually it will get to you. You'll have to do constant work to make sure that you are protected and that you are seeing the greater good, I suppose, in causing the anxiety. So if you're going to use those, you need to have a really strong belief and faith in your why, and truly believe that it's for the greater good, that you're not doing this just to get over on someone or to put them in their place or to make yourself superior in some way or to steal power away from somebody else. If that is your goal in utilizing those skills, then you will feel anxiety. It will ruin your life. You will stop feeling as much joy and freedom and carelessness, and you will start feeling just anxiety all the time. You will feel those negative feelings. The light feminine, on the other hand, thrives on togetherness, communion with your partner or with anybody else that you're using these skills on, freedom, recklessness, happiness, satisfaction, hope, excitement for the future. That is what the light feminine plays upon. Those are the emotions. That is the goal of the light feminine. And this is very, very powerful. Why is it powerful? Because everyone wants to feel powerful, which is the premise of using dark feminine. You make it seem like you are more powerful, which then in turn causes these negative feelings in somebody else, and that causes them to want to act in ways to prove themselves that they are either just as powerful or more powerful, that they have the power to keep somebody like you who has all this power. And power could be like attractiveness, the ability to walk away if things are not the way you want them. That's power. And those are things that the dark feminine often tells you to do. The light feminine, on the other hand, has to do with love, like true love and true fulfillment and purpose, which is what you feel when you're in a new relationship. That honeymoon phase is like absolute bliss, and that is what the light feminine plays upon, are those kinds of emotions that make you feel like alive and amazing and so grateful to be alive and so grateful for what you have, like you're living in a dream, you're on a cloud. That's what the light feminine does. And that it will always be being able to create that feeling in a man will always be way more powerful than creating fear and anxiety and a sense of lack. The one thing that they do have in common is that you need to be very in touch with your own power. Very in touch with it. Because the light feminine, in order to employ it successfully, you have to truly know that you are it. Dark feminine, like I said in my last video, plays on the acting out of being it. And if you know what I mean by it, you know what I mean. The light feminine does not play with the idea of being it. It feels being it 100% completely without a doubt, and uses that to elevate the people around them. Now, where people go wrong and why they say that the light feminine doesn't always work is because we all go through periods of time where we don't truly know that we are it. Some of us more than others, and a lot of us most of the time, because that is the programming that we've been given. So during those times, you cannot successfully employ the light feminine. You cannot. It's impossible. So instead of using the dark feminine, or, instead of taking a step back and saying, you know what, I'm not feeling my beauty, I'm not feeling my power, I'm not feeling my light right now. Instead of stepping back and isolating until you figure out why and do what you need to do to get back to that place, you lash out. You make problems. You start drama. You spin all these tales in your head about these situations that are not happening. And you create problems. You create negative emotion. And not only are you creating negative emotion, it's not the kind of negative emotion that causes a man to say, wow, I really need to do better. Or wow, I really need to step up. That's using the dark feminine. It would be better to use the dark feminine and manipulate than to lash out in weakness, because that's what those lashing outs are. It is a moment of weakness. Absolute weakness. And the more that you do that, the less credible you become and the harder it is to get back to the light feminine, which is why women that have spent a lot of time lashing out like that out of weakness end up turning to the dark feminine, because it helps them feel somewhat powerful again after they have betrayed themselves multiple times by being weak. And then they turn to the dark feminine because it feels better to cause these negative emotions, to cause this fear and anxiety, jealousy, whatever it is, than to admit to themselves that they were weak and retreat until they can do better. The best thing you can do in moments of weakness where you do not feel your power any longer is to take a step back, step away from the man, do not talk to them, find a non-anxiety inducing reason that you need to take some time to yourself. Maybe you got a lot to do at home, or there's, you've got a big work project or something. use one of those reasons and do it. And instead of him seeing that you are in a bad place, you're feeling weak, he's saying, okay, she knows when she needs to take her space, when it's important to take her space, to amplify herself. That is power. That is powerful, because we're all going to feel weak at times. We're all going to be weak at times. And weakness, that kind of weakness is not really weakness, because the real weakness shows when you make a decision on how you're going to handle those feelings of weakness. The illusion of weaknesses is what it is. And then when you feed into the illusion by lashing out, having these long conversations about what's bothering you and how you're feeling, and demanding attention and demanding time and demanding all these things, instead of doing that, you do not give in to the illusion. And you tell yourself, this is an illusion and these feelings will pass if I give them enough time and really sit with myself and figure out why I'm having them. And when you figure out why you're having them, 100% of the time, you will come to the conclusion that those feelings are an illusion. They are not real. They're not true. And then, once you've done that, you can go back to the light feminine. You can go back to your true power. You can go back to your light. And you can be the person that you want to be, and create the aliveness and happiness and bliss that you want to create around you, in him and in everybody else that encounters you. Nobody can do it 100% of the time, and that's good. Because when you have to take that space, like if you're in that position, you never have to worry about, oh my gosh, am I being too much, or am I around him too much? Am I spending too much time with him? Am I not creating enough mystery? Am I not creating enough distance so that he feels motivated to come towards me? It will happen naturally if you're in that place of power, in that place of light. It will happen naturally. You will naturally know when it is time to retreat for a little bit and repose yourself. It'll be natural. It will flow. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to manipulate it like the dark feminine does. And the feelings that you create from that will be far more powerful and more genuine and more bonding than anything the dark feminine could do, than anything an illusion of power could provide. And if you find it hard to retreat when you feel that illusion of weakness, then it's going to take a lot of practice in order for you to feel like it's actually easy. The more that you do it, and the more you override that response of wanting to cling or over-explain yourself or spiral, the better and easier it becomes to notice the illusion of negativity that your brain has created, that your nervous system has created, and take a step back and do what you got to do. That is the way of the light feminine.